Alright, in today's video I would like to go through the Assimil course and show you guys how I normally practice the vocabulary in a more active way. As you know, if you're trying to speak the language, it is very important to use the vocabulary as much as possible. Okay? And here you will see how I normally do this. Now, if you're just wanting to know how to understand the language, how to read, then that's a different story. Here, this video will be useful for those of you who are interested in actually speaking the language. Okay, so I've gotten a few questions about Assimil, Teach Yourself, and some other courses. I'm not going to go into that in this video. What I will do is post that video I made a couple months, I think it was the beginning of this year, regarding utilizing certain courses in a certain order. So I will post that video to this video as a response. Okay, so as you guys can see, I have here, I will be using Russian. Okay, so I have the PDF for the Russian course, Russian Assimil. As you can see, it's Russian into French. Okay, but there is an English version out there. It just came out not too long ago. So if you're interested in getting this, you may want to check out Assimil's website. So basically what I'm going to do here is just show you just what I normally do when I use the Assimil course. So I have my Assimil PDF open, and then I have the notepad open, blank notepad. And here I will be utilizing the FLR course at the same time. Again, I've talked about this in the video that I'm going to post to this video as a response. So basically you will get an idea of how to use the FLR course as well when utilizing a formal course. So let's get started. So in Assimil, basically they when you play the audio, they get straight to it. Of course, they tell you the lesson, and they read the title, and then they get into the dialogues. Okay, and then of course you have at the end an exercise section. All right, so I normally I go through the dialogue here, the dialogues, and then I do the first exercise. I don't really do the second exercise. I just skip that and I go on to the next lesson. Okay, they do often have some very useful notes that you may want to look over. So let's see. So yeah, when I normally spend 7 days working through 3 lessons. So here you will see me work through 8, 9, and 10. So first I play the audio. I'll just play audio, let them read through everything, and then I go back up through it and read it through again. And while I'm reading, or when I read the Russian, I'll translate into English. Okay, so for example, I go to 8 and say, so na Kavkazie, okay, in the Caucasus. So this is exactly what you want to do. Дети, что вам здесь нравится? So children, what do you like here? Okay, read the Russian, translate. Ему и мне нравится море. So he and I like the lake. Okay. А ей нравится лес. And she likes the forest. Им все нравится. So to them, everything, they like everything. Да, здесь очень хорошо. Yes, it is very good here. Здесь есть все. Everything is here. All right, so that's exactly what you do. And then you go straight to the exercise. Упражнение 1. Читайте и переводите. So exercise 1, reading and translation. Кто им нравится? So who likes who likes it? Who likes, or who likes them, right? Who likes them? С нами очень хорошо. So for us, it is very good. It is very good to us. S nami очень хорошо, or it is very good with us. With us, it is very good. Мне нравится, что он журналист. So I like that he's a journalist. Давайте пойдем в лес. So let's go to the forest. На Кавказе есть море. So in the Caucasus, there's a lake. That's exactly what you do. You read that, and like I said, I normally skip упражнение два. I don't do the second exercise. I skip that, and I goes to the next lesson and do the same thing. Okay, so I'm not going to read through this like I did before, but you guys should get a pretty good idea of what you need to do. Okay, now another thing I forgot to mention is, since this is a script language, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a script language. I find it very useful to copy down the dialogues. There's something about writing them down. I like to do that. And I talked about this in some other videos where I have several pieces of paper where I write them all down on, and then I put them in a folder. Okay. Perhaps I should post that video to this one as well, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But it is very good to write down the dialogues as well, especially if it's a scripted language. Okay. So I'm done reading, and the next thing I do is I open up my notepad here. Okay, and then I start practicing the vocabulary. All right, so starting with 8, на Кавказе, in the Caucasus, дети, что вам здесь нравится. So I look at line 1, and here we have kids. What do you like? So I try to figure out something here. Let's see. Now with the FLR course, let's say week 1, I have my list compiled here. All the material I need for week 1, all the excuse me, all the questions and answers, and then the keywords I want to use. Okay, so here are my keywords: хотя, although, даже если, even if, когда, when, and другой, other. So I'm going to take something from here and incorporate it with that Assimil course. This is normally how you use this. So what did it say? It said дети, что вам здесь нравится. So I want to take something from this line here and make up my own sentence. So what can I say? Let me see. I go back to week 1. Let me see. Okay, so who's teaching you Russian? I'm self-taught. So я самоучка. I am self-taught. Let's see. Okay, so let's say samouchka. Get my keyboard. Russian. Okay, so I say yasamouchka, and then what can I say? Что вам здесь нравится? Здесь нравится. So I'm going to use нравится here. Здесь. So okay, so я самоучка и мне нравится изучать его здесь. Я самоучка и мне нравится изучать его здесь. So I am self-taught, and I like learning it here. So I took здесь нравится and incorporated that with the я самоучка. Okay. I go to line 2. Ему и мне нравится море. So Okay, let's see. Go back here. Let me see. I tell myself, who did you learn? I study independently. Я изучал русский самостоятельно. I don't have a teacher. У меня нет учителя. Okay. Учителя. Okay, so let's say ему и мне нравится море. All right, so I'm going to use ему и мне somewhere and somehow. Okay, I already used nravится море. So I'm using moria. Okay, so let's say let me see. I want to use a keyword. Okay, so I come down here and find a keyword. I want to use хотя, although. So let's say хотя. Let me see. Okay, хотя мне нравится. Хотя мне нравится. Хотя мне нравится море. Although I don't like the lake. Or sorry. Although I like the lake, мне не так нравится учить русский. Учить русский там. Okay, so although I don't like the lake, although I like the lake, I don't like to, I don't really like to study Russian there. Okay, ему. So let me see. Okay, no ему очень нравится учить там с русскими. Okay, so but to him, he really likes to study there with Russians. All right. I hope you guys getting the idea here. So you just got to be creative when making up sentences. So next line, а ей нравится лес. You just make something up from that. Им все нравится. You just make something up from that. Then you go to the next lesson, do the same thing. Now, just when you move on to the next lesson, you could still incorporate things from this lesson with the previous lesson. Okay? Ну, ни пуха, ни пера, к черту. Сначала по физике, а потом сдаю математику. All right. Упражнение 1. Они куда? So that's basically what I do. I go to the exercise section here and do the same thing. I go to упражнение, кто им нравится. С нами очень хорошо. Мне нравится, что он журналист. So, like мне нравится, что он журналист. I like that he's a journalist. So if you want to take this and incorporate it with something like, let's see, мне нравится, что. I like that what? I like that, let me see. You say, мне нравится, что я изучал его сам. Мне нравится. Я изучал его сам. I like that I taught myself. Or I like that I studied alone. Потому что, what is it? Мне нравится, let's see. Okay, I'm going to make this the last one here. I'm just giving you guys some examples to show you. So, like that, from that exercise I showed you, упражнение, so мне нравится, что он журналист. So I'm going to take мне нравится, что. I like that what? I like that, let's say, мне нравится, что я изучал его сам. А потому что мне не нравится. I gotta practice typing Russian again. Мне не так нравится учить, what? You can say учить в школе. В школе. Okay, you could do something like this. Мне нравится, что я изучал его сам. А потому что мне не нравится учить в школе. So I like that I like that I studied it by myself, because I don't like to study at school. So that's basically what I do. I do that throughout the whole course, making up sentences. Now, when I do that, I'll go to some social platform like Facebook or a chat room, and I try to utilize those vocabulary as much as possible. Again, you have to be creative. I know sometimes it may seem weird. You say, okay, when do I use this? I don't know when to use that. If it's something that you find difficult to use in a conversation, just go to a forum or Facebook and just post it there. You can make something up. You can refer back to the list. Just make something up and then bring people to the discussion. They could correct what you wrote or whatever. But the point is to practice the vocabulary as much as possible so it can become active, because it's easy to just read and listen to the material and understand it when you see it. But when it comes to producing words, it's a whole new ball game there. So if you haven't been really training the output, you can't possibly start speaking. It's not going to work. So this is like one of the strategies I use with when it comes to trying to speak the language. Okay, using the formal course. So that's pretty much it. That's all you really need to do. Like I said, I spend like 7 days going to 3 lessons, and just during the week, I just kind of practice making up sentences, using those vocabulary introduced in the chapters. So very, 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 very nice approach. And yeah, so I hope this was useful. I hope it helps many of you out there, especially those of you who are new to this channel or just now getting into learning languages. You have to be patient. It takes time and a lot of practice. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for viewing, and I'll talk to you guys here shortly.